Hey you guys, new jet tags are live on our store right now, so you can rep your favorite engine. We've got the RB25, RB26, and a bunch more. The link is in the description.
Can you hear my voice? Coming through.
We have the keys to an R32 GTR. I mean, it's a straight line car. It's got some lag, especially with 800 wheel horsepower. I'm like shaking already. So we're not going up to the canyons where we would take like a 911 or something, but we are going to go into the just open road. We're gonna feel the power and we're gonna go somewhere that we actually haven't gone before. So I guess the name Roads Untraveled actually holds up this episode. So let's go for a drive and get on the road. Out here into the mountains, into the desert, into the hills. Yes, this car is very much a product of its environment, okay? It's a straight line car running E85. It's at about 800 wheel horsepower right now. What? Yeah, 800 wheel horsepower. Oh my God. So somewhere between like 900 and 1,000 at the crank. Honestly, it doesn't really matter past a certain point of horsepower I've found. It just is all ridiculous. So obviously, being a shop in LA, Original Auto has to deal with the insane amount of like freeway traffic and just like 20 million people in the greater LA area. So when you build a car like this made for highway pulls, I mean, you're really only able to do highway pulls in LA, like in LA, the city itself, at like 2 a.m. because there's always traffic. Anytime, you know, 10:30 at night, Tuesday, it's packed with traffic on the freeway, right? Oh, wow. Down here, this switch that's by the gear shifter here, that's for my exhaust cutout. Oh wow, okay, yeah, now the exhaust is dumping from down there. That is scary. This just became a completely different animal. Pablo, you are not screwing around with this thing.
So my name is Pablo. I work in Original Auto. It's actually a small family business. And what we do is restore the old GTRs. So mainly these cars, the R32. A few of the 3s, because you never see the R33s, and now more and more 34s. I mean, just like everyone else, you know, it's like the car to like and to be influenced by because of car culture in California or worldwide. You know, it's the car that you want to work on or have. Like me. Yeah. So the goal is to update the car to today, right? So it's a car that was made almost 30 years ago, right? So it was pretty advanced for its time, but for today, you know, there's so much more that technology offers. So this car runs now on ethanol, so you can run 91, you can run 85, and it's pretty smart now. The ECU connects to your phone via Bluetooth, so that's cool. You can see miles per hour because the car, you know, tells you information in kilometers per hour. So, you know, the car is updated to today. Obviously, you know, put a late generation bigger turbo in it, you know, everybody wants more power. So what else did we do here? We did the new R35 GTR coil packs, which are much better, newer than the original ones. So we deleted all the bugs with that. Obviously all the internals inside, so it's stronger, and cooling system is better. With the new California law, the car is quiet, but I put a cutoff, like a cutout exhaust. So that's also electronic. I can open it and close it whenever I want, and it's quiet or loud. That's what we do here. We just update the cars to today.
So to have a build like this where you've completely taken apart a stock RB26 in what would otherwise potentially be like a collector car, something that would hold or increase in value over the years, and you've taken it and you've modified it to your own, which yes, takes away a little bit of that, like, oh hey, you've got a bone stock, super clean, low mileage R32 GTR. But at the same time, because there are more and more R32 GTRs around in the United States, it's not that big of a deal anymore. People don't really care as much, which is kind of cool. I enjoy that. And it makes our jobs a lot nicer because you've got guys like Pablo and Chris who are very willing to make a car like this their project. 5,500 RPM. Oh. Wow, those AP Racing brakes are stunning. What I would call stunning, at least. Makes it feel like a little bit safer, I guess. Cars like this, still to this day, you guys, freak me out, straight up. Like, there's no amount of 800 wheel horsepower cars that you can get into and drive that will prepare you for another 800 wheel horsepower car. It doesn't exist. $4,000 RPM. Oh, it's awesome. It drives so good. So you look at the R32 gauge cluster and it revs up to 8,000 RPM. The red line is 8,000 RPM. This thing revs to 9,000 RPM, okay? You get the best of both worlds with the RB26 and the Skyline GTRs, which is why I love them so much, or at least one of the reasons why I enjoy a build like this so much is because you get an incredible rush of torque when the turbo hits full boost around like 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, and you still have another 5,000 RPM of full boost all the way up to 9,000 RPM. So think of like a 911 GT3, but with a huge turbo on it. We've got AP Racing 6-piston brakes up front, 4 in the back. Very much needed. I personally looked at the brakes before I went for a drive to make sure I was in good hands.
So on E85, obviously you can bring the boost up really high. It went to like 830 at like 30 pounds of boost, and then high 500s on 91, so only 15, 17 pounds. So what I did is I put it's a pretty easy way to swap turbos because it's a single turbo. So if I wanted to, I have a smaller turbo, I could just throw it on, upload the other map, and it could be a good turning car versus a freeway car. So it takes me an hour to do it, So versus having the twins, it's so hard to do both turbos, So I like it that it's simpler. That's one main thing that I wanted to say. The car is simpler than it was before, and everything is newer. So you have less parts that can rust, break, fail. So now you have less parts, but yet it's better. We started, the first R32 that I did was in 2010, so I guess it's because people already know we know these cars. So yeah, I have a lot of spare parts. I know most of the people that work on them too, so we work together. Yeah, so we're kind of old now in this. It actually came with triple disc, so it still has it, still handling, it's fine. This is the second transmission because it breaks transmissions. The stock one is not as strong. So the plan is to go maybe 6-speed, the one from the 34, but they're a little expensive and I don't feel like spending $7 grand on a transmission on a car that I don't drive. But whatever, eventually I'm gonna have to do it, yeah. So it's funny because California is like a really huge car state, you know, but yet we have the most strict laws in the States. So it's contradicting and people don't care, they still challenge and defy the laws, you know. I think we're a pretty complete shop, you know. We have from a paint booth to a dyno. We do fabrication too. My brother, you know, TIG welds and fabricates really well. Most of the popular metals, you know, aluminum, stainless, titanium, or even regular metal. So we take care of most of the customers, you know, whatever comes, we help them. Engine-wise, it's the same car. So, and we've done all of them, so it's pretty much the same car. Do I enjoy it depends on the setup. Like last year we did a really cool twin turbo setup. His name is Brandon, he might be watching this video later. But yeah, he put a lot of effort on that car and I really like that car, yeah. It's a 32 with the top mount twin turbo kit. It was very complicated to do, but it was really nice, yeah.
Now, being that it is running on E85 right now, it is a little bit, you gotta be cautious of kind of where you're driving because a gas tank full of E85 sucking down 800 wheel horsepower disappears honestly like in a few minutes. Like you might think I'm exaggerating. Just getting from Original Auto, their shop, to our road here, our driving road, took up like well over a quarter tank. And it wasn't that far. Still can take corners. I know Pablo was like, you're not really gonna enjoy the car if it's a super tight road. And he's right in the sense that you do need a long ass straightaway to get into power and to really fully experience what 800 horsepower feels like. But even still, like I said, it retains the things that make the GTR family, this original GTR family with the RB26, so good to drive. There's no sacrifice in driving feel. They all will blow you away in how amazing they drive and how they make you feel connected to the road and connected to the engine. Barely any steering input. You never have to move your hands off the wheel in a GTR. You never do. And it's kind of, honestly, it's kind of sad that nowadays when you hear the word GTR, a lot of people just think of the R35 because that's what you usually just call a GTR, you know? But I like to think that there's a number of us, hopefully some of you guys included, that really only consider the Skyline GTRs, the originals, an actual GTR. This is where it all began. This is Godzilla right here. And you know, it makes me happy that there are guys like Pablo and Chris that are so dedicated to the Skyline family of cars and the RB family of engines, and they are doing great work to ensure that you have an insane time behind the wheel, a fun time, and you know, a kind of frightening time as well. It really makes me happy. That is purely built for that face right there. Wow. It's not perfect. It's not a daily driver car by any stretch of the imagination, although it could be. It's purely built for the satisfaction and the thrill of the driver. That's it. And it's not just the fact that it has that amount of power, it's the fact that it has this amount of power out of an RB26, an engine that's still kicking ass 25 years later. And I find more joy in driving this than I would a brand new hybrid engine putting out the same power and putting down, you know, faster lap times or something. I get more joy out of something like this, okay? So thank you again, Pablo and Chris, for allowing me the privilege of driving this beast. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I can't thank you guys enough. Definitely hit us up in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this car. I think it's insane, as you can probably tell. We've got engine code jet tags on sale on our store right now. We've got RB26 like this car. We've got 25, 20, and a bunch of others. We're about to drop 50 new designs. So definitely check out the store. Keep coming back and seeing what you like over there. Subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you very soon.